Brian here. I'm hoping a couple of checks I didn't do for this stream. Let me just see if I can comment on my own stream. I got two devices that I can work with now. Anyway, so we're going to talk about something that's one of the more popular topics on my website and everything I do, which is quant trading, interviews, quant coding, quant research, all that fun stuff. And let me tell you where I think the number one place to be is in portfolio management. And I've already, because I've been playing around a lot with AI. I personally think that with AI. Let me just see if I can comment on myself. Yeah, here. So, yes, comments are working. All right, so let me go back to what I was saying. So what I was saying regarding the interviewing process, career-wise, you definitely want to be in systematic portfolio management. That's what the new terms are. And what's happening is, I think the way computer science is going to roll out in the future is just basically managing agents, tons of agents. If it's going to be 20 agents, 100 agents, I don't know, but that will be literally the job. And that means then who does that? I don't know, but you better know your AI, you better know your computer science, all that, and you'll probably be held accountable to all the debugging and things when they don't pan out. So that's the future of computer science tech. It's just basically managing agents. Now, what does that mean for jobs? Well, for jobs, that means that it's going to get tougher for fewer jobs. If you are operating in the mindset of trying to get a career in this, I think it's pretty tough because more and more people are getting laid off in this business. And what else is happening is you're competing against them, and there's, as I said, there's fewer jobs of them. And now with the latest stuff going on in Dubai, I think they're also predicting a lot of those shops in Dubai will get shut down over the next short term. I don't know. Long term, I don't have an impact, but definitely there's going to be some form of disruption there when it comes to Dubai because of the Iran war, what do you want to call it. So that's the future of where we're at. So in one of my long form videos, I had a video where I show you can use AI to do all your interview questions and all of your research. So that can be very specific in your questioning on an AI. I recommend always using, my favorite's always been for a coding agent or a coding tool. My favorite's always been Kilo AI, and I use a VS Code as the extension for it. It's very powerful. They support some like 500 models. I don't know of any other tool that supports that many because there are literally so many models out there and it supports so many things. So anyways, depending upon the model you use, you can get some fantastic quality interview questions. And really what it does, it enables you to role play a mock interview that you'd typically be put through. And I know I have a video on that posted a few weeks ago. That's the best way to prepare for an interview. I know there's a lot of third-party career people that will show you how to do things. There's websites as well. To be honest, they're kind of useless. And I say that because from what the AI's confirmed for me multiple times, all these quant career people, just career people in general, they're just going to tell you what to say on camera and how to look on camera. That's all you really get out of it. Does not really prepare you for any form of interview processing. But a lot of the interviews are done with role playing. So some of the questions I've come across was in that video that I'm talking about I demonstrate, and as I say, you can ask specifically what will companies like Citadel, Jane Street, Two Sigma, and the like, what will they ask me in these particular questions? And you can drill it right down in the AI. Say, what are the hard questions I'm expected to know when it comes to quant coding or quant research jobs? Very specific, and it will know the typical historical questions used. And as I said, a lot of it is role play. So, for instance, with the new DeepSeek 4 coming out, I do know that, yes, it's streaming fine on a new phone as well. Thanks, CNN. Yeah, so the the questions, it's all about role playing. And some of the questions they'll ask you is, with what the current bots I'm generating now, it'll ask, okay, so we have this scenario, a recent war has just been kicked off with Iran. What can we expect out of the price of with oil? What can we expect coming out of unpredictable Trump? What happens if this happens? Like, how should we approach the trading strategy? How should we approach the quant? And it's going to be very, very relevant news. And this is how they'll get around standard questions that you won't get from these services and career counselors. So you got to know more about the role playing aspect than just general learning how to know how to code like a wizard. I don't think it's going to be enough, to be quite frank. And from what I understand, a lot of the interviews are now taking place on site. They're not doing as much web only interviews anymore. It's just their way to control and see how you're going to do face to face. They might not even allow you to have a phone during on your presence during the interview. If they don't do that, then they're not doing the right way to interview, if you want my opinion. So I've already talked about the kind of companies that do this, and they're going to get more and more strict. It's going to get more and more competitive. And I'm not sure if I hooked up my little shopping product, but this little blueprint that I got at hftcode.com will really help you there for like $30. And you that's just the starting point of how to start with this whole process. So okay, I've got another phone in front of me. So as I said, all of this is AI driven. Okay, and it's role playing. That's really what we're doing here. And as I said earlier, it's going to be driven by news. So let's say if it's crypto, they're going to ask you things like in my video I put in Ethereum Short Fade. What is it? What's the expected returns, and so on and so forth. If you're moving into more higher or senior level positions like architecture, which is where the 500,000 plus, they're going to expect you to know architecture really well on the software side. So AI, vibe coding alone is not going to help you. Yeah, you're going to have some kind of strong computer science behind you and education. Namely, a lot of people say, well, formal education is no good. I don't believe that. A lot of these jobs, it's rare to have the good high level paying jobs that do not have minimum masters in a university masters. Many programs I've seen or job descriptions barely have bachelors anymore. It's just alone in that. As we know with vibe coding and AI, it is killing a lot of the junior level jobs out there, entry level I'm talking about. I think the only way to get through in those kind of positions is through internships. And those are very, very competitive. So we've already passed that season, November, December. A lot of the big firms, I mean, they pay really well, but to get into those is tough, really tough. Kind of like trying to win a lottery. Thanks for hanging on, CNN. Appreciate it. Okay, so obviously I'm going to focus on Q&A on this later on. The other thing is, a lot of people have been, well, I think one of the biggest challenges people go, where do I start? I think you need to have some form of blueprint to start. So if you're not all that strong in trading, algo trading, math, quant, programming. As I said, I'd probably recommend you get that blueprint I mentioned at hftco.com to get you started on the basically to start your own journey and all that. Okay, so there's that. Big time, what I would tell you, and I've been saying this for a long time, the primary asset classes that you have to know is basically futures and options, more specifically options. That's where a lot of these firms will expect you to have working knowledge in and know everything about options and futures. This is what institutions do, and this is how they trade. So as the competition gets more fierce, you're going to have to know those pretty good. Okay, first question is from Naveed. Hey, Quant. Yes, Naveed, I'm on Instagram. If you're intending to direct message me, don't expect a lot. I'll go over how to contact me. I'm making it harder for myself to be accessible on purpose by design. But yeah, I am QuantLabs.net is my Instagram handle, I guess. QuantLabs.net. All right, so continuing along, yeah, assets in or the asset class for sure is futures and options. I can tell you via AI, the response that I got last week is that hedge funds, not 30% of trading is no longer just about AI driven. It's driven by agents. I'm hoping to get a bunch of agents running, hopefully by the end of the week. The way you can ramp up pretty quickly. So you got to get also into agents. The only way you can really know this stuff is by practicing and getting experience hands-on by working with something. So as I said, where to start, I've got that blueprint at hftco.com. And you can go wild on the AI with Minimax. It's free. And there's interactive brokers. It'll build out pretty well any bot you want, any asset class. It's pretty easy. I'm getting reports a lot of people are finding it very valuable. So for interviewing career-minded, it's probably just as good as well. So if you guys got questions or comments you have based around this topic tonight on career and interviewing, I want to make sure I cover that off because I know it's a very popular topic from what I'm seeing. So again, I said with the AI. So the AI role playing, it's not an interview anymore. It's about role playing. They're gonna present you different scenarios and see if you can handle those questions in the scenarios. If not, out you go. Unfortunately, it's the way the competition's too fierce. So Naveen followed up, brother noob question that the best overall books for quant finance. Again, I'm going to point people to this blueprint. The books, the courses, all of that is really, do you need to spend that money to learn it in a static way? I'll keep pointing people to the same thing. Go to my hftco.com, look for that blueprint for interactive brokers. That's where you start. Cut down on all the processes of doing it the old way. We are now not thinking about, but we are already in a new era. So it's been purposely made affordable. I'm pointing people every time they ask the new questions now. That's where you go. Not for me to make money, but it's the most direct and easiest way to get things done with yourself. Because it's really about motivation. If you don't have the motivation, can't demonstrate that in interviews, again, you're not going to get past 3 questions. Because that's what they do now, is they'll role play with you, especially with the AI. And the better and stronger you get at it to measure your knowledge and experience, it's all about confidence building. Because what they're going to test you with, if you guys got any other questions, let me know. What their primary focus now is to make sure they want to see how you think, okay? And primarily, if you're educated in physics, That's how they want to see you problem solve, especially in these higher paying jobs. So that's what I can recommend for you generally. But as I said, if you want to get started, that's probably the best place. I will put together how to set of resources because there's many paths people are coming in from. I'm just trying to see if I got anything else I can cover off here. Okay, so specifically in the questions, you're most likely going to be asked about Python. I don't, in this age right now we're in, I don't think coding's the primary skill anymore. It's probably the last skill you need. C++, Python, AI can do it all. Okay, I think more and more we're seeing AI is not needed anymore. Aaron, question, how you doing? I know you're talking about interviews. However, can you give me your thoughts on using machine learning models with streaming data? That's an okay question. I had that conversation with somebody earlier today. My question or my answer to that is very simple. Local data, local AI on your machine is, I'm going to say it's kind of like worthless. And I say that now because what I've been seeing, I've been using a lot of Minimax over the last week. What I'm seeing with Minimax, the model seems to change when you go through an API and it improves. Now, if you're going to put all of that effort to download the static version of Quant, let's say, a week ago when it was released, I can almost guarantee you within 2 weeks they're going to have already changed that model 3 times, but they're going to still keep the model number the same, and they're not going to take away the features. They'll just add to it, make it better. So the better approach is to use the cloud. Okay, look, I know you got that blueprint thing. You find value in it. It's the same thing. Like if you're using Kilo extension in VS Code, you can get access to over 500 models through the cloud. And as I said, you can hook it up to Minimax for free. So that's the approach I would take it and keep it because you want to keep your life simple. And once you start layering in complications, chances are you're not going to complete what you want, which obviously is something you want to avoid. So I could talk about the models and what I'm doing now with the bots and what I've streamed earlier today on. I'm just giving you my consensus on it. But if anybody out there has got questions on career or interview, let's get those out of the way first. But it's all intertwined. Will that do too? We'll do a one-on-one with you soon. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, it's better. It's better to kind of do that one-on-one, but generally, overall, quant trading, algo trading, computer science is too overwhelming when you start, and you got to keep it simple. Naveen asks, brother, noob question again. Has someone on YouTube and learning to trade intuitively by repetition is superior to any of these systematic trading mechanical systems? What are your thoughts on this? That's a good question. I've never been asked that before. If you asked me that before December 2024, I would have said there's probably a series of human-based discretionary traders that could probably outpace the older algorithmic trading. Now, I am more than convinced that AI and what it can do, it's hard to beat it as a human. I'm finding day by day, model release by model release, that's hard to beat. And the reason I say it's just purely on Claude alone. It finds so many things that's wrong with your whatever you're trying to do, and it'll improve it. If people don't want to use AI, they're losing out. And I've seen a lot of people don't want to use AI. That's fine. But as I keep saying, it comes back to the lemmings, like the horse and buggy people, as the Model T Ford launches this thing called the car industry. Same concept. That's how powerful AI is. Is this Sino cycle? My eyes are real. Sino Occupy. Sorry about that. What resources can I use to learn math for quants? Again, AI. Math is my weakness. what I would do is it all comes down to prompting. If you want to go the complicated way, I don't know your past and where you're at, but in your prompting, you could just go in as part of your prompts. Give me a trading strategy that is complicated that a quant would use or a quant at Citadel would use, and it will give you exactly what you want. We're on the verge of DeepSeek 4, okay? I will tell you right now that firm originally came, and I keep saying this, came out of a quant shop. So if anyone's going to know, it's going to be DeepSeek. And with this new DeepSeek 4 coming out, whenever it comes out in the next week or so, that's the best place to experiment with exactly about the math side because it comes out of that. And there's also specific math models, there's specific science models as well that you could try out. But if you're using for a low cost, state of the art, I think DeepSeek 4 will come out and set that standard for in the AI world for at least a couple of weeks, not a couple of months. I'm too conservative to mention that, but I think DeepSeek this new release will be strong enough to at least stay on top of it for a while, a couple of weeks. But that's the best resource once that DeepSeek comes out, and then use Kilo Code, and use like an open router to plug it all in, and then use the AI a Kilo AI extension in VS Code, which I've set up with that blueprint. That's gonna help you, and you start there, and that's why this thing's becoming. I'm going, wow, it's more universal than not, right? So going back to, if you guys got further questions, just let me know. That's why I do these things. Anyways, what I was mentioning about the AI and job searches in Quant, as you probably could tell, I'm week by week I'm losing relevancy on things that you learn from if it's static, be it books, courses. As an example, I mentioned 2 weeks ago I'm going to start taking the Andrew Ning course, the new one that just came out for agents, which is free. And the next day, I go, I don't need to know, I don't need to learn this course. Why? Because the Kilo introduces me to agents, skills, MCP servers very quickly. And that's what the whole course is about. So why go through this kind of course that will give you the structure, but if you use AI and the tools surrounding it, you could probably learn much faster and in real time and hands-on with an AI really good tool. It could be Rue Code, it could be Windsurf, but any of those, or Cursor, shall I dare say, those are fine. My preference and what I've really been using for the last couple of weeks is this Kilo, and I'm not paid them 1 cent. As I said, if you're really short on cash, use Minimax 3.2. It's really good. I mean, it's kind of slow, but in terms of the quality of output, it's just as good. I should say just as good. It's for a free model. It's pretty close to what Claude puts out. It's shocking. And then, as I said in my stream earlier, I'm now getting turned on by Codex now because it's much cheaper than Claude. So now Claude still the best output, but it's so expensive. Naveen says, how much percent of traders do you assume are systematic? If you include AI and agents, I'd say probably 90%. Like, okay, there's traders, retail traders that lose money. That's 90%, okay? Now, forget them because they're not profitable, okay? But if you're factoring in the profitable traders, it's hard to say. I would like to say 100%, but I don't think so because out of the, let's say, 10% that are profitable, chances are that those same traders will not budge because of they have a process, they have a strategy, and it works for them. Fine. But where it gets really difficult for them is if they're, let's say, trading the stock market for the last 15 years. It's been consistently going up and up and up and up. Yeah, their strategy's broken. And same with Bitcoin and the buy and hold concept of Bitcoin. I mean, there's so many people going back to McDonald's because that no longer works. So right now, I do think that over time, in the next couple of months, as the markets get more volatile, and the traditional way of trading, especially if it's momentum based and it's human based, more and more traders are going to give up on it, because it's going to get harder for them to make money because those trends are no longer in place because the regime changes so fast. We had a regime yesterday with severe downturn in the market. Look at today; it was up then down. It's this is the market we deal with, and all the asset classes that are impacted by it, especially with the current president. I have opinions now of that, but anyways. So if you guys got questions and more, but as I said with the career stuff, it will get more challenging, and I'm not here to be a Debbie Downer on that. That's why I firmly believe that people come through and watch what I'm doing. You really want to more because trading can be huge. Sinan Zeichel, have you worked with a quant firm? No, but I worked with how should I put it? A bank, but I'm more coming in from the retail side for a couple of years. I've worked in I don't know if you know, I'm Canada, the Canada Pension, the Canadian CPPIB, Canada Pension Plan Investment Board. I worked with them for a couple of months on a contract. I worked with trading desks, but that was nothing to do with trading itself. It's more like helping them out build better. Today's talk would be, or today's topic would be called dashboards. So I kind of focused on that. But I was more of a call center person back in the day before I launched this whole website stuff. Opinion on ICT. Everybody's asking that. You want to know something? ICT, I have no opinion. Well, it's not a positive opinion. Let me put it that way. I hope that's enough for you. There's I'm part of these WhatsApp groups, and these WhatsApp groups are getting so bad now in quality because exactly that question. What do I think of ICT is so popular. Yeah, I know, inner circle trader. It's not a positive thing. It's not trading. Sorry. He's got a method, fine. If he's making money at it, fine. That's good. And if you think you can make money with it, go for it. But I think once I finish up, hopefully tomorrow, with my Rhythmic live trading, it's going to be a game changer for what I do, and I might not have to kill myself doing what I'm doing, and especially when it comes to AI and agents. So a lot more automations coming in, and the less human discretionary trading, the better, and the less mistakes you make. So that's hint, hint there. ICD, I know, whole pile of stuff among the big conflict he had with somebody else. Not positive one way. This guy built out his thing out of confrontation, and behold, I was on a boot camp for YouTube on policies with YouTube. As of today, anything that has shock value is going to hurt you in your performance on YouTube. That guy, the other guy, it's all about shock value. So there's no value to it. Okay. Getting into these nasty online fights, and it's just lowbrow stuff. All I can say. You want to follow what the quants do. You want to follow what the institutions do. That's the path to really follow. I work with AI a lot, and AI tells me things and what futures and options traders are doing in the current market conditions we're in. New guy, Corey. Oh, Cody Ann. Hey, any tips to learn about flow and footprint charts? He says hi. Footprint charts again. That's all driven by AI. Personally, I don't know if they're worthwhile. Order flow, I do order flow. As I said in my stream earlier today, you can stream. Depends upon how many bots you're running. It can kill the performance on your account and your system. You're better off just to take frequent snapshots of data and work with that. And footprint charts, I don't think really matter. Anything chart worthy. The only reason I do charts is for presentation. That's it. For visual presentation, you want to work with raw data to get better accuracy in the trading and trading in the moment. Well, trading in the real time as well. What made you start out quant trading? Dr. Ernie Chan's book, the first one back in '08. And if you look, his couple of ones, he thanks me for the technology, the first two books, until some hater came along and tried to outdo that with 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 the new read editions on Ernie Chan's books. But that's where it started. And yeah, if you go onto my channel, just look up Ernie Chan. You'll see all kinds of presentations he's had. I think I was one of the first channels to put him on YouTube. And yeah, back in the day, I used to call him the doctor in the house. So yeah, it was good. I mean, he's still a good guy. He's still doing his thing. And he seems to be really successful at it. So Cody came back. No, like trading manually using order flow and footprint chart. Cody, I've already mentioned about the human trading. The question is, why aren't you AI trading, as the young'uns call it? I think human-based trading is going to become harder and harder. I do think some traders do have their strategies, their manual strategies that will kind of continue. So if you're doing manual trading, whatever you're trying to do is going to get harder and harder, and unfortunately, you'll get left behind. It's like if you're still on a horse and buggy and you got this thing called the automobile coming out, and I keep saying the Model T, you'll eventually get dusted, and left behind, which you don't want, especially in trading, because there's something called order flow. And if your order flow is not in place to line it up properly, especially if, and the other big trend that I'm hearing is liquidity. So order flow you're talking about is going to get less and less anyways. So if there's highly illiquid product out there, order flow, hate to tell you, will be meaningless. I hate to tell you. As I said earlier in the stream today, I put out altcoins are going to die, and they are dying. Many institutions are not trading altcoins. They're still trading Bitcoin, Ethereum. But as I said earlier, I do think Bitcoin and Ethereum is at risk, becoming less and less relevant. The liquidity will always come from is institutions, good or bad, but that's where the order flow comes from. And there's less and less order flow in the stock market because it's all in oil, gold, maybe Bitcoin, what else? Natural gas. Because when I'm looking at all the futures that I have all these trading strategy bots get created, there's fewer and fewer forex, which is to me surprising. Fewer and fewer crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, namely, and fewer agricultural product. Okay, and that's in a challenging market for the last couple of weeks. It's all in, as I said, gold, oil. Obviously, oil, we know where that comes from. Treasury's still popular, like bonds are still popular because it's a safety trade. And there's more and more talk about the dollar, US dollar, DXY. That may start to outperform everything. And that's one of the reasons why gold and silver are struggling, because the US dollar has been strengthening lately. So if you know those trends, then that's where you put your focus on in terms of order flow. Oh, okay. So Cody Ain comes from, I'll be starting college in a few months. I don't think I'll get into any target school. How do I break into quant? Is there a way? I'm 17. You have been funded in OK Traders, still learning. Yo, man, anybody that's getting into this under the age of 18, 20, I take my hats off to them. Let's see, I do have real hair. Anyways, I take my hats off to them because it shows motivation. What I would do is, I keep saying, I hate, just hopefully you see go to hftcode.com. There's a blueprint in there for people in an exact situation. And that will instantly get you up and ready to run with interactive brokers in demo mode. And there's about 7 bots in there you can work with, play with, use AI, and just go hog wild with the AI. And it will create all the code you want, all done in Python. And once you're learning Python, that's good too. And you just play, learn. You can do, as I said earlier, interview questions with it. You can have it do a role play with a strategy. You can use Python to generate the code, blah, 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 blah. That's where I'd start. Part of the problem right now in my stuff is how to. How do I start this? How do I do this? So I have to, at some point, put together some starting point resources for people because exactly you'd probably be the number one niche audience that I have out there is people want to learn, but they're young and it's hard for them because they don't know where to go. But generally, I would kind of focus on the coding, Python specifically, because it's easy. Understand just algo trading generally, and really, really focus on AI. And again, as I mentioned earlier, the places to learn really good for that is on the cheap Kilo AI extension for VS Code, and in there they have architecture mode. So with that, you can ask all kinds of questions about general trading, it'll give you an answer. You can ask about interview questions, it will give you an answer. Architect me a basic trading system, it will do all that for you in Kilo. It's a fantastic, fantastic place to learn that I've started. And anybody can start from there. But if you want the whole kit and caboodle with something that's already kind of set up, to use something like Interactive Brokers, Trader Workstation, yeah, I look at the blueprint because that's going to be a jump start to get you started in that space, if that makes sense. And it's good for career as well, as I mentioned earlier. If you guys got questions or comments, I appreciate you asking them away. I don't really care about your senior knowledge. But as I said, if you're new, that's where I go. Just try out the hftcode.com in there just to see, because it kind of covers a lot of questions that people jumping into algo trading or whatever. You guys got comments, questions? So let me say this. If you are in a job and you can't find a job, can't find a career in this space, I think what I would recommend, and especially if you're in a career of anything, and you really know you've been displaced by AI and you're challenged by it, I do think algo trading's kind of a way out. I've kind of firmly believe in entrepreneurship. And with entrepreneurship, the cool thing about it, it's not like opening a restaurant, a store. You got to lay out X amount of dollars, fix up a physical location, hope and pray that you get an actual set of customers coming in. It's a high risk move. But where algo trading, there's very little cost that you outlay for it. So Cody came back with, yeah, man, I'll check it out. Follow you on LinkedIn as well. You can follow me on the YouTube channel or the website quantlabsnet.com. As well, your content is really good. Thank you for that, and thank you for watching, consuming it. I'll be focusing on Python, C++, in college. Yeah, and if you want to get really good, practice it with the AI. Because one of the powerful things that AI offers you is the ability to role play, and that's what a lot of these firms want to see is how do you role play in your capabilities as a quant, as a researcher, as a coder. That's probably your number one skill that you'll need to have, and have those human elements to edge out what AI can't give you. Because always remember, AI will never, ever replace a community. Never. Okay? If I was to open up all my groups that I have that are walled off because you need a login, AI is not going to get in that. And that's where the real value will be. Okay? As long as you know the trading secrets that AI cannot replicate, that's your edge moving forward, I think. Because you can't replicate it. And AI can do a lot of things, and always remember, it's a tool. But the human element in terms of groups, physical people, commenting, sharing really good ideas will really help you out. Okay, so I found my channel. I'm going to show you some videos, okay? So if you see my knee, it's a good looking knee, so it won't shock you, but let me throw this over to the other phone here, and I'm going to show you that, okay? Hold on. Okay, so you can see here we got a bunch of videos. These are I just posted. a month ago. You can see that first one, RIP Trading View, with the Chinese AI and the how cheap it is. You can use that. As I said, Minimax is really cheap for that. Oop, hang on here. Forgot that. The hand says hi as well. Okay, so we have that. I'm looking for that video. You can see their AI just destroyed trading platforms. This is all because of that blueprint I mentioned at hftcode.com. If you watch that video, what that does, it kind of goes through all the demo where you can convert MetaTrader code, not NinjaTrader, TradingView code as well, and then you can create trading bots from that in Python, which is very powerful. This one here, stop paying for trading platforms, build AI Python. Let me go back. So hopefully with those 3 videos I put out in the last couple of weeks, months, will show you that you want to convince yourself that we are moving to that. I'm making those predictions that we don't need trading platforms. We don't need proprietary coding. Even if you have something, you can easily code it up with AI. I've got one guy who's such a laggard. He's now convinced that AI is the way. And the books, the courses, all that, you don't really need. But you still need some of the ones that I put out are just fundamental. Without those fundamentals, it's hard. If you're trying to learn those on your own, you're still going to miss out on a lot of things. So hopefully you got some of that from those 3 videos, long form videos I got on the QuantLabs channel. So if you guys got any other questions or not, let me know. I'm here for you. But if you guys currently on stream or viewing, let me know. Yeah, AI is definitely good, but I think I should first learn without AI. Self-study, cause if I'm nothing without AI, I don't deserve it. I like your approach, Cody. I'd agree with that, but at the same time, you always have to remember if you know this thing called AI is out there or Google Maps is out there, but you want to learn how to use a map, use like an old school paper-based map, that may overwhelm you. Whereas if you know how to ask Google Maps, because it's so easy, it's going to do it for you. It's not like AI can just ask a generic question and it'll give you a detailed answer. But I think you would want to use AI in parallel with what you're learning. The fundamentals you definitely need to learn from somewhere. But I respect your approach. And the reason I'd say that might be a little dangerous is because then you'll learn stuff and then you get caught up in the analysis paralysis stuff. So you're going to be like me, spending 10 plus years analyzing, thinking this is better, it's just the engineering approach, and you waste all that time. So you're better off to use the AI as not as a crutch, but as a tool to help you get instant answers. I think that could be said for anything you're trying to learn or launch or reset yourself in some kind of career path. But just know that there's still fundamentals. But if you watch those 3 videos I highlighted, there is one for interviews, and that whole process of interviews is exactly what I said. Interviewers are not going to ask you what is a pointer, what is a triple pointer. It doesn't exist, but they ask me that just to trip you up. But a lot of these interviewers are very good, and they can just pull questions out of their butt. They're not going to use static questions that you'll find on LeetCode. LeetCode just gives you the practice to get into that mindset to be able to generally be challenged and be able to overcome it, and then be able to get answers that the interviewer will say with confidence, yeah, this guy knows what he's doing. We could throw him at a computer, we could throw him at a strategy or an idea, and he'll be able to whip it up pretty fast. That's what they're looking for. And there's going to be a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of approaches to see if that what you do is going to be aligned to how their firm does it as well. Because there's a lot of firms that do it a certain way as well. So you may think you have the best answer, doesn't mean you'll get the job. Because they also have to look at the politics of the company. Are you a fit in the company? Blah, blah, blah. There's a whole combination of things as well. So if you guys got further questions on whatever, career, education, I do think education is still important. I know a lot of people kind of mock it. I get it. But it's really not about education so much. What it really comes down to, can you get your degree? That's really the ultimate. I got my degree. Has the degree helped me in what I use day to day? Maybe 10, 15% currently after, 30 years? So a bunch of the stuff you learn is going to be worthless. But what I can say for my education, formal education, is timekeeping, project management in a way, and problem solving. That's really what the education does for you. And it kind of makes you kind of creative as well. And when you look at career-minded jobs, specifically now with AI, I think those are kind of the top 4 skills that you'll need in any kind of job, specifically programming and quant related or trading related as well, because they're going to throw a lot of stuff at you as well. So said, if you guys got further questions or comments, let me know. Yeah. So hopefully you like the resolution. As I said, I got a new phone. I'm so happy. Yay. And I can do these things I just showed you. But here we are. Yeah, I get kind of excited by this stuff a lot. And I think hopefully tomorrow I'll have better answers about the live rhythmic trading for once and all. I have that, but to be able to have it in Python, that's a big deal. And be able to have it not just in Python, but run it in Linux. Yeah, that's going to be a huge plus. So I probably will talk about that next topic, which I'm sure a lot of people will be interested in. Who's got questions? Questions. Blah, 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 blah. I could go on. I think a lot of people have dropped off since probably our last series of questions. What should I do? What should I do? You tell me. Should I keep going? Generally, our streams are pretty long, hour and a half to 3 hours, but this one's only 45 minutes. Maybe YouTube. Oh, we're back up. Yay. Okay. Yeah, keep going. I'll keep going as long as questions keep coming in. So keep asking. Keep commenting. One thing I'll say about the trolls, when I started doing these streams, the trolls were obscene. Now I don't get trolls at all anymore, so I'm very happy about that. Yeah, so if anybody's got questions, people ask me, like, how do I dye my hair? How do I shampoo my hair? What shaving product do I use? We're not the channel for that. We're here to talk about coding, trading, even investing now. So let me know. Also, let me talk about the travels that I want to do. I've been want to travel since January. Now we're in March. I would have liked to gone to Panama. I would have liked to gone to behold Dubai, and we know what's happening there. So I'm glad I didn't go there. So that part of the plan is escape the West. I'll leave it at that. So the other region out there is Asia, namely Hong Kong, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Thailand itself, and even I'll dare say New Zealand as well. So that's kind of like what I'm looking at. I've got an app idea, want to hear, share it, Cody. Let's do it. Yeah, so I'm just talking out of my butt here to keep the thing going. But right now, I think generating automated trading works really good. We're at a point now where I won't say it's easy to do, but I'll also say there's no excuse not to do it and not to accomplish what you're looking for in terms of profit. It's a lot easier now, just needing to know the prompting technique, what model to use, and the tools to use. For me right now, and it changes every week, as you know, right now I would have said Minimax. I still believe Kilo AI, the VS Code extension, is still the best way to go. because it's very diverse. It just does everything open source on the cheap, well, almost free. What model? Right now, as I said, if you're on a tight budget, I'd say Minimax still really good. It's free right now, and waiting for DeepSeek 4. I think that will change the game for sure. And just prompt it. Know how to prompt it, and it'll do all the coding for you. Okay, so Cody's come back. So, like the idea is let AI text instead of you, cause imagine someone is texting you, but you're busy because you're a billionaire. Let text for you, good for influence, and sell the data in back. I kind of understand what you're doing. We're already here. What you're asking, Cody. That's what agents do. You get a high quality data source. Now, I'm assuming you're relating around trading. Yeah, it kind of exists already, and with agents, it can already be done. I'll be proving that hopefully in the next few days. So what you can do is you have your data source. In my case, I use news feeds. You have your data feed. I like interactive brokers for me to do real live trading, and I like futures and options. Rhythmic is the route for me. High quality data, that's number one. You can stream it, you can download it as long as you pay for it. So we have that in place now. As I said, if you know how to prompt and analyze data and know how to use what seems to be profitable, you can do that too and generate the trading box in place. And that's what I'm doing now. So I kind of understand what you're trying to do, but when it comes to automating all of this, that's what agents do. You're basically taking a workflow of something with 100% automation and AI generated, and all you're doing with the workflow is you're just automating, and that's what agents do. And then there's a whole concept of, as I said, MCP server skills, and God knows what else is in the AI world. It's crazy, but those are the main concepts. But I understand your idea, and it's kind of in place already. But if you want to know what the value is in this stuff, it's the trading signals. It's not just the trading signals, but the real value is in the concept of marketing. People want everything done for them, and they just push a button. In fact, I think we're already in a world where people are too lazy to even push a button. Like that's how bad it is. But yes, there are ways to get around this. The problem is in the world of trading, if I had 10,000 people doing it based upon a bunch of signals, we now have crowded trading. And so that trading becomes ineffective because it's all crowded out. So in my case, if I'm going to do this, I'd rather be highly expensive. And if you looked at my cost, we're looking at the price of a car, and that keeps a lot of people out. And that's done, as I said, by design. So yeah, the fewer people that can afford it, that are motivated, will do well. The general people, no, because everyone else is doing it. Yeah, so something like copy trading. Oh yeah, it's copy trading, signals from Telegram, yep, to live trading bot. Yeah, we're already there. There's a lot of people doing it, but if you really want to, you know you're really good at it, and you want to do it as a business, and you set yourself up by being verified, third-party verified, and you have a verifiable track record of the trading. It's profitable, and it beats the markets, generates alpha from an institutional point of view. Once you can do that, you'll be highly prized. But nobody does that. Nobody has verified trading, third party. It's not synchronized to a trading account, and blah blah blah. So if somebody can get to that point, I hope to get to that point one day. Then you have something very valuable. But at the same time, because you're only a person doing it, you can charge top dollar. Top dollar is what I tell you. Yeah. So yeah, and there's prop trading and blah blah blah. All that's, as far as I'm concerned, it's all outdated now. It just comes down to motivation. You can do it yourself for sure. If you want to try to turn it into business, you can do that for sure. But then the gold standard would be you have to have a third party verified account in real time. That's the way it is. Anybody else got questions or comments? But it's a good set of questions. Cody, I like your motivation for a young guy. And that's the motivation that matters. Like you're putting yourself out there, you're asking questions. That in itself is huge. A lot of firms like that. It shows you have an initiative, shows you have trading ideas. No AI can replicate that for sure. And that's the sort of things that you need to survive, not just in trading, but any kind of job, any kind of career path. Because if you're just sitting behind a screen, not saying anything, and just lurking, why would a firm take you? You're not adding any value to the firm. Firms today are going to look for what value, what revenue are you bringing to the firm? If you can't do any of that, I'm sorry. You're going to struggle. And that's why unemployment's skyrocketing right now. And once AI really, believe me, AI can do everything. I just got word from our friend here, VW, Volkswagen's just laying off 50,000 people. I've seen 10,000, thought that was a lot. But 50,000 people, that's all because of technology. They'll blame the economy. They'll blame China, blah, blah, blah. It really comes down to technology. They say that because they have to appease to the unions, right? But now, secretly, it's the technology, the AI that will and can replace them. How do I know when it comes to AI? There's a company called a robotics company out of Switzerland. I can't remember the name of it. And they've been testing all the robots in Leipzig, their factory, and works great. So out you go as a factory worker. Sorry, don't need you. Bye bye. And you're gonna be forced into learning AI and trying to figure out how to use AI to be self-sustainable. And you don't want to be classified as a useless eater. That's a Davos term, just so you know. I just don't want to tell you what they'll do with useless eaters. If you guys got questions or comments, let me know. As you can tell, I talk about anything. But don't. Well, let me put it this way. Oh, Cody's nonstop, man. Wow, you should be number one here. Damn, Brian, it was great talking to you. It's like 5:20 a.m. right now because I'm from India and I haven't slept. I probably assume you're taking maybe some kind of herbal thing. I'm going to catch some sleep now. Yeah, this video will be on. It'll be within a few hours. So it'll be more. If there's more chitty-chatty people, the more we can stay on. But thanks for sharing all your ideas. It's quite motivating to engage with you. And that's another big thing. For community engagement, community support is really important, which is what I'm trying to push. I just opened up a community on my website of 520 people. So I'm trying to push that out. And I'm looking at getting on a WhatsApp because I know everybody wants their WhatsApp stuff. But I've run these messenger groups before, and there's so much spam, it's annoying. So I'm not going to have that at the get-go. I will have what they call a WhatsApp channel. So it's a one-way communication to people to let people know what I'm working on, where to go, a reference, maybe an attachment of some kind. That I want to stress. But then if you want to be part of the group WhatsApp, you got to be a paying customer for sure. Because that's, as I said, when people pay for something, that's the ultimate motivation, right? Don't know the tier at what level yet, but it'll be affordable. Because a lot of people that have been online earlier are thankful that they joined earlier because now they're joined and part of something that's now worth the price of a car each year, I might add. But yeah, with the WhatsApp, that's what I'm going to push out is at least a channel. And people go, why WhatsApp? Privacy, blah, 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 blah. I think we're past the privacy thing. Anyways, true man, if you give something for free, people don't value. It's not about valuing it. It's about having a high quality, highly driven group, highly motivated. And usually people that pay for stuff are probably usually high achievers. Okay, if they don't pay, there's that saying, you get what you pay for, right? So if you're not paying, sorry, but if you want to get behind a paywall, you have a higher quality of people as part of that. And in the world of trading, from what I'm seeing, the people that pay for my stuff are either older in the IT space or portfolio managers going into retirement. They want to build out their own algo trading business like that Ernie Chan talked about. Because that's one of the most prosperous ways to stay to sustain yourself over the long run in this crazy AI world. And it reduces a lot of the dependencies out there, if that makes sense. Alrighty, who's got other questions? But that's why I do that. So there's a channel. You can't communicate with that. And the question is why WhatsApp and the privacy thing. I know everybody uses two things online, YouTube and WhatsApp. So there's that reason there. And I also know when it comes to reliability and trustworthiness that the target market I'm after, which are usually portfolio managers in big firms, like multi-billion-dollar firms, that's my ideal target market. They will not go onto a Telegram group. They will not go onto some anonymous group. They have to be on a reliable messenger platform, which the only one really is WhatsApp. So I don't make the rules. It's the way it is. I tried to fight that game before, and you can't do the privacy thing. You have to be on a reliable platform, even though I know it's not private. But that's why WhatsApp is the way, because everyone uses it. Yeah. Anybody else got any questions or comments? I'm glad to say we're past 1 hour, but this is part of the. I won't say it's frustrating. It's just like I'm doing this to engage with people, to talk to people, trying to help people. I can't help people if I don't know what their issues are. That's one. Number two, in order for me to continue doing this, I have to see that engagement, that community based, right? So I do bookings very cheap. And right now, because I run and operate at 250 miles an hour now, I'm probably going to get rid of the bookings and maybe only make it available for my members, paying members, that is. Okay? So they get the benefit. And if you're motivated, great. If you're not, fine. But I do know the concept of chasing after the shiny toy. Okay? If that's all you do, good luck to you, especially in this era. Don't expect the government to save the day. Okay? I live in Ontario. I know. If you want to be at the bottom of barrel society, just take whatever government handouts you get and not have to work. Okay, fine, that's fine. But you'll be at the bottom of the barrel in terms of service and quality of life, unfortunately. So that's the way that goes. Who's got comments or questions? If not, I'm sure I got a whole slew of stuff. I'd like to start developing agents right now. Anybody got questions or comments? Please type away right now. I want to see that engagement. We've had very good questions, very good content, so this will continue for sure. I let the AI generate the media clips of the shorts for YouTube, and every single one is very valuable. And I know that's how a popular way people consume with this stuff. But if you want something kind of one-on-one answered, let me know. I can do my best to help out. As I said, we already talked probably to death about the quant career and quant code and all that stuff earlier. So if you missed that, just watch this stream once it's rendered and posted. Who's got questions? We've had a good set of people. See, everyone's doom scrolling right now. We'll watch it for, if you're lucky, 5 seconds. They move on to the next shiny toy. I don't know. They won't go. I got my opinions on it, but I'm not going to mention them here. I've tried the motivational thing. I thought at some point it works. No. Everything does come down to motivational on your own, unfortunately. And if you are a person of faith, your higher power is your true faith there too. Who's got questions? Comments? Questions, comments. So we're at 104, so I'm happy to reach that. I thought this would be a popular topic and a really lengthy topic. I don't see our regulars on here. I know one is out there. Let me see here. Yeah, everybody's been new, which is fine. That's cool. I have no problem with that. I want new people. That's the whole point. And we got one guy. Yeah. So anybody else out there got questions or comments? always remember I can X-nay. Uh, with this new phone, I got some, well, as you can see already what I can do with it on this stream. And with the WhatsApp, I don't know. With the group, just so people know, if you want to get on that public group, got over 500 people. Just get on my email list at quantlabsnet.com. Look for the Learn tab at the top. You'll get a free ebook. And then if you read my emails, I'm doing a lot these days. And then there'll be somewhere in there, you'll be able to see the group's public group. I believe we're at 520 people so far, but we need the engagement to really make it good. Or maybe the channel, I don't know, for WhatsApp, I don't know. Still trying to figure out how people are engaging with this stuff. The old way is done. I'm talking about email. Anybody got questions or comments? Looking. Okay, what I'll do is I'll put the thread out there, the count of 3. And I'll terminate it for tonight. So, if you got something, just type up a letter A, so I know you're out there typing away. I know there's a synchronization, a delay in the synchronization of this video and what you hear. So, I'll go really slow. Okay, so going once, type away, please, let me see it. Also going twice. Oh, no, nobody going 2.5. Type something. Anybody to keep this going. Okay, I guess we're done. Going 3 times, sorry. If you want, as I said earlier, I'm going to make myself less accessible. Okay? As well. Oh, we got a question from JDI. Did you just join a JDI? I know you can keep streams going forever. Do you think we will see single person companies with AI? I have seen chitter chatter about that. I don't remember from somewhere, but they say who's going to be the first trillionaire? And one person, what do they call in the VC world, venture capitalist world, a unicorn worth. I think there was one guy sold a startup not long ago, it was a couple million, 15, 20 million. I can't remember who bought it, but it's just one guy. So yeah, we are there now. But billion, I'm sure it's out there. When it comes to trading, what I will say from what I've seen, specifically out of China, because they're really smart people, they'll put out stuff, but they don't share it. So I'm sure there's a lot of people making a ton of cash in the world of auto trading and algo trading. We don't know who they are because they're not that kind of people. The culture's not like that either. So they just keep to themselves, but they will exploit whatever technology is out there, also in the world of algo trading. And I'm sure a few of them have done extremely well. Like DeepSeek's a great example of that as well. JDI, do you have more questions? I know you can keep going. Thank you for joining. This is really good. It gets exciting when JDI's online. Yeah, for sure. I think that's one thing I should say. Even though I could sit here and go doom and gloom on everything, we are at a point in human history where there's never been so many billionaires created ever, historically, because of the internet and now AI. So the possible potential is easily there. As I said earlier, it comes down to motivation. Would you ever consider trading other regions? Yes, I will. One thing I've heard through somebody I talked to, he's getting pretty popular. There's a British guy living in Geneva, Switzerland. Is called Clive Thompson. He said exactly that. The credibility of the CME and this gold manipulation with the gold future contracts because of the manipulation in silver, and that when the market went out, or the gold, and well, I think it was gold, went out for an hour, and there was, going on and on about that. So now they're saying more and more legitimacy is moving over to Shanghai. So anything gold related for more legitimacy and so-called less manipulation is now moving over to Shanghai. So I'm saying is with the Rhythmic, I'm hoping that I'll be able to get access through Rhythmic to those servers. I know I can get access to the Singapore I know I can get access to, I believe, Hong Kong, but Shanghai itself, mainland China, they do make it very, very difficult for the Westerners to get access to that. But if China knows, if the CCP knows that they become like a new global metric in something, specifically around trading, believe me, they'll allow Westerners to get access to it. So Shanghai Gold could be one of the first ones where you could trade off of, no longer CME because of the so-called manipulation on CME, because they're taking a reputational hit. And overall, CME's taking a reputational hit because they're allowing this manipulation to go on. So that's some of the chatter I'm seeing on YouTube among the doom and gloomers, popular channels and commentators. So one said, yeah, maybe Shanghai composite gold will become a metric, a global metric. So would I look at it? Yeah, yeah, I would consider it. And I do know a lot of international markets are doing better because, for instance, I think it was like last week when I said that with oil and how it's gone up and down on the CME, on the CL contracts, because of places like Qatar and Bahrain, obviously Iran and Saudi are getting a hit on who's producing oil out of that Mideast region. Well, guess what they're looking at is now Korea and Japan for refining. So there's a contract you can get through, I can't remember what exchange, but you can get access to what they call, as I said, I mentioned this last week, the Korean Japanese marker, which is basically all the Japanese and Korean refiners, because those refiners are still up and running. So there's going to be more demand and trading opportunities with those refiners instead of, well, there's no, maybe a whole pile in the Mideast are no longer around because they're bombing them. So yeah, I definitely look into these kind of regions, these kind of alternative exchanges. And I do think over time that they will become more mainstream. And hopefully, if not with Rhythmic, if there's enough demand, especially from the institutions, they'll make it more accessible via Rhythmic. And I'm sure Interactive Brokers is the same. And I just get better feed quality, responsiveness with Rhythmic versus Interactive Brokers. I find Interactive Brokers is good for two things, because I know you're on Interactive Brokers. One, if you're trading equity, you have nowhere else to go but Interactive Brokers for the low commission costs and the automation capabilities you get with it. And B, if you're going to trade futures and options market, Rhythmic does kind of make it very difficult to trade off of, or sorry, to test off of. And that's another strength of Interactive Brokers, because on Interactive Brokers, you can get access to pretty well anything. So that's the advantages of Interactive Brokers. Very good questions, my man. We've had some good questions tonight, especially from Cody and Aaron, I believe. And there's somebody else, Naveen as well. That's why I like doing these, because I learn from these as well. So if you guys got questions, I don't like to threaten that I'm going to close it off. Don't want to do that. And here comes the savior. JDI asks, IB customer service is non-existent, that I've gotten used to it. Yeah, unfortunately, you're 100,000,000% right on that. It depends upon your account size. The bigger account you have, like, I don't know, I think the average size of the accounts are something like a couple 100,000. So you get better customer support because you get routed into the US. So you get great customer support. So if you can magically pull out some extra cash out from somewhere and fund it, you get better customer support. But the thing is with AI and just where tech is today, yeah, you just got to get the basic connections, the plumbing, connect it all up, and then you're good to go. And that's what I'm kind of doing now with Rhythmic. As I said, the last step is to get the live trading, live market data from the enabling me to connect into their Chicago server for actual production and live trading. So I'm hoping to get that finalized by tomorrow. Once I get that, awesome, because like with Interactive Brokers, it's all permission based. So you have to ask and beg Interactive Brokers through their app or their portal to give you access to this and that, turn on that data and this and that. Rhythmic's kind of same. You have to get permission from Rhythmic to be on all these other exchanges. You can somewhat through their software be able to get access to it, but it's another slew of steps to get access to be able to trade it. I think a lot of it can be your performance in trading and also your account size. So to get into the international servers and exchanges might be a little tougher, but you'll be institutional level. In terms of the customer service, Rhythmic is probably nowhere as good, dare I say it, in an insulting way with interactive brokers, but it's all email and it can be kind of responsive. I get better support two ways because I'm paying for the API and the data feed. So I'm not going in as a cheapie. And as I said before, I'm paying 140 for the API. Okay, so I'm at a higher tier. So it seems like I get better kind of support. But for people out there considering Rhythmic, and I've said this before, when it comes to expediting and Rhythmic to take you more serious as a paying customer, because it's all the same, all the questions come through the same queue. In order to expedite that, what my rep at my futures broker said, just CC me on it, and they'll see me, they know our firm, and they'll put you at a higher tier and faster response, and that's been kind of successful. At the beginning, it was not that great, but everyone's going to ask, who's your futures broker? I'm with EdgeClear, and I chose EdgeClear on purpose for the personal extra touch I got with EdgeClear versus boring AMP and Optimist. They're all not great. EdgeClear as a futures broker is very good, and anybody in the world can be on have a futures and options account. That's another good thing too. There are restrictions, but it's not like let's put it. If I was to apply for a mortgage, a complicated mortgage, that's interactive brokers. Whereas futures, once you get past the funding and understand the concept of futures, you'll have most likely less restrictions, if I can say that, from what I'm seeing so far. I know we were up and then we're back down. Who's got questions? I don't know if Cody, I think Cody dropped off. If you guys, if JDI, if you got a question at all, I'm waiting. I did threaten 10 minutes ago. I don't want to do that again. I know it's hard to get topics and stuff, but if you guys got anything, glad to answer it in real time. I don't think I've refused a question yet. I'm in a purposely vague on a few trade secret stuff, but generally I'm pretty open about it. Let's see here. I'm just looking on my other phone here if there's anything I should be paying attention to. So far, nothing. Let me just see here. Nope. No other communication I should know about. All right, so if you guys got questions or comments, let me know. I'm here for you, baby. We had some usual diverse topics covered. I'm on a mission to get to a certain number of live streams by the end of March. So I'll be doing more live streams, just random times to show up. I was kind of surprised with the one I did earlier today, but I do want to stick with a schedule. Makes life easier for people. But the problem is you're trying to appease the people that are overseas. I know there's a lot of U.S., so I'm in line with them. So I have to try to figure out how to accommodate here. It's kind of hard. But as I said, with the new group I've got, it's all I've had. I'm just kind of promoting it now with the 500 people. That's probably going to be the best way to reach me. And as I said, I'm going to be outside of the streams that I'm doing now. I think over time I'm going to make myself less accessible. Unless you become a paying customer, of course, to retain the high quality I'm seeking as well. I can only accommodate so many free people. I'm getting a lot of questions from people via Instagram and Facebook and how do I do this, how do I do that. As soon as I put out there, well, get this product, costs $30, I don't hear from them again. So these are what we call leeches. And you can go to other places to leech. And I've done it for quite a long time. So I'm looking for premium people, if you know what I mean. Not free people. I'll be making things affordable, yes, but not free, free, free. I'm going to, as I said, probably make myself less accessible on purpose, as I said multiple times already. Who else has got questions, comments? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, let's start a new countdown. JDI, get your keyboard ready. I know you'll save it as usual for now. So let's get started. I'm going to do a go once, twice, three times, and it could end it. I don't want to, but I like to see engagement. And hopefully JDI can save the day. Okay, so let's get started. Going once. Type away. I know there's a delay. Going twice. Yeah, we're at an hour and 20 minutes. It's not a bad time for a stream. Going once. Going twice. Going 2.5. Oh, currently midnight here, so probably going to call it a night anyhow. Where are you calling? Where are you calling in from, GDI? Are you? Was it Ireland you're in? I know you're in Europe. I can tell by the timing. I think you're in Ireland, if that's the case. But I don't mind. Midnight here, so call it a night. I know I saw. I don't know. I was curious to know where people are viewing from. UK. UK. We had another person from UK. I know them pretty good. They're a customer of mine. Yeah. So UK is a good place, man. When I put out one of those reports, London, you could be in finance for all I know. And the other customers are the same too. So when I put out a professional report I did a few Saturdays ago, it got a lot of people and it reached a lot of people, and then I got a lot of traffic from London, UK. So I know it's hitting the right market. Yeah, thanks for all the questions, JDI. I'm going to repeat the whole thing again for anybody new or don't know the process. Whoever wants to save the date to keep the stream going, just type up whatever you want. I'll respond to it. I just want to know people are out there and are interested in what I'm blabbing about. So I'll do a going once, going once and a half, going two, going 2.5. We're close. Going three times. Okay, we're done. All right, so I'll leave it at that. As I said, go to the website quantlabsnet.com. Try out one of the things. Get your book at the same time, your ebook. And if you can, join the group because that's where you're going to find me more of and the better, easier way to contact me, as I said earlier. Okay, I guess we're done. Have a good day, night, wherever you are. Have a good one. Bye.